Hello everyone, hello, Chocolo Roberto here for a live review. Yes, an Easter special. Happy Easter everyone, yes. And hi there, Alan. Great to see you, Alan. How are you doing? Toblerone is your picture today, I see. Yes, how are you doing? What do you think about, Alan, the fact that they're removing the Swiss Alps from the wrapper, by the way? Yeah, did you know about that? I think they're no longer made in Switzerland, apparently, the chocolates, so that's what they're doing, apparently, if I have heard the right story anyway. But yes, hope you're doing all right, everyone. Great to see you, Alan. Great to see everyone else as well. It's a special Easter one. It's I sort of seem to do these every year now for Easter, one of these Hotel Chocolat reviews. I don't know if there's going to be, I don't know, enough eggs for me to review every year, but it seems to be an Easter tradition for the moment. So yeah, this one, it's the You Crack Me Up. What's the official, what do they call them? Well, here it is anyway, here it is. Let's have a see. You Crack Me Up. Half 40% milk, half caramel white chocolate egg, filled with a collection of mellow chocolate truffles, pralines and caramels. Alcohol-free, it says, extra thick egg. There we go, look at that. British cacao grower. All right, there we are. Yeah, looks very nice. They come in these like tins. I've got loads of these. Well, I've got two others of these now. Basically, I use one. I've got like a sort of camera, here that you can see there, points at the plate, and basically it's sat on one of these. So and the other one I use as a biscuit tin. So they come in quite handy, and they're quite good. But yeah, obviously they do house the egg to start with. And what actually is it? Well, first of all, it weighs, how much does it weigh? 13.93 ounces, 395 grams. So quite a hefty thing. I'm assuming that doesn't count the container it comes in. But this is actually what it is. Now, the other ones I've reviewed in the past, I've kind of come with essentially an H-box worth of chocolates or something along those lines. But this time it's kind of like more of an Eastery looking one. So there's a story about extra thick eggs. There's a story. When we first started making our Easter eggs, experts told us to make them as thin as possible. All right, well, people trying. You mean people trying to make as much money as possible is what you mean. We did the opposite, opting for lavishly thick shells that are the epitome of indulgence. All right, but we charged £30 for it, so there we go. High cocoa, white, exquisitely spun with caramel milk chocolate. There we are. So there's two halves to this. Now you might look at this. This is what it looks like on the website, roughly. And you might think, oh, okay, both sides are going to be like this, but it's not. It might almost could be construed as maybe a bit of a con. One of them is just milk chocolate, basically. It says 40% milk chocolate. So you've got one that's the sort of like the high cocoa white, exquisitely spun with caramel milk chocolate. So kind of like a blonde chocolate. It says crack open for a selection of award-winning treacly pralines and mellow milk truffles, alcohol-free, it says. So that's basically what we've got. Yeah, and hi there, Rick. How are you doing today? Yeah, good to see you, Rick. Eggites, yes. Yeah, good to see you. How's things going for you today? Any Easter antics going on? I think you might have mentioned Easter isn't really a thing over in Korea, but yeah, hope you're doing all right. Super stylish. Well, this is it. I mean, for £30, I'd expect nothing less. I mean, that's literally how much it costs, £30. So they are expensive. They do ostrich eggs, which I assume is ostrich sized. Well, these are quite big. These are certainly not, chicken sized. In fact, these could be construed as ostrich sized, to be honest with you. I'm quite sure, but yeah. So they do 80, but they're £80. £80. Which is a lot of money. But maybe one day I'll do one. Maybe, push the boat out. Maybe do good. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it does look a good one from the outside. We'll see how it looks on the inside, what have you. But there we go. We'll see. I know, Ewan, good to see you. That's the one you've got. What did you have? You opened yours yet? You're saving it till tomorrow. We'll see. Hopefully it'll be a good review for you. Fingers crossed. £30, Oh, no holiday there, sadly. Do you get Friday and Monday off? We do indeed. Yes, we do indeed. So we get a nice long bank holiday weekend this weekend. So it's not bad. Loving the wee fun characters. Yes. I mean, this is it. It does have more of an Easter look to it. I say the other ones do just come with generic sort of chocolates, really, that they sell all year round. But these ones at least have the Easter looking chocks. So there is that. So it does look pretty good. You've already opened it, Ewan. Now, see, what did you think? Were you impressed? I think it will look impressive. Whether it's, I think the main question is, is it worth £30? And I don't know, how good is it really? But I mean, we've opened these in the past, not this specific one, but other ones. And generally, the consensus, I think, on my side at least, is they're not really worth £30, but they are an experience, and that's what it's about. It's a holiday. It's a holiday or a present rather for for Easter or whatever, and that's rough. I mean, maybe not always a present. You might buy it yourself, of course, but the gist of it is, the likelihood is it's a treat. So The white case looks familiar. Was there another egg you've reviewed before? Yeah, basically yes. Yeah, just saying before, I've got 2 of them already, and basically the my camera that is that I've got here is actually sat on one of them, and used it for a biscuit tin. So yeah, basically yes. You can't beat the value for a cream egg. Well, this is it. This is it. You can see those Pimp My Snack ones where they basically made giant. They filled like a regular size Easter egg, as in a massive egg with several cream eggs worth of middles, and they've just done a massive one of them. So yeah, you'll probably be a big fan of that, Rick. You'll probably be a big fan of that. Now how are we going to open this one? I don't think I can particularly. I think it's so big that on the camera down here, I don't think I'll be able to open it particularly well. And you can see there, I just can't. So I think I'll just open it up here. So we'll do that. So yeah, I think we should. Well, in fact, before we get into it, let's have a look at the bottom. Let's have a see what it says. You crack me up, it says. There we go. All right. Good play on words, yes. Eggshells in caramel milk and white chocolate fusion, paired with milk chocolate, with a collection of filled chocolates. All right, and there's all the ingredients. Now, I won't really go over all of these. Obviously after the event, whenever, feel free to pause it or take a screenshot or whatever. There's quite a lot there, really. But I can't immediately see any palm oil, so I don't think they use palm oil. But you can obviously see all lots of the things in bold. The traditionally bad, well, they might have allergies or what have you. But you can see runny caramel, 2.5%, it says there. Anything else of interest? Butter oil. Now, I've got some information on the bottom here. It says milk chocolate contains minimum 40% cocoa solids, minimum 20% milk solids. White chocolate contains minimum 36% cocoa butter, minimum 27% milk solids. Caramel milk chocolate contains minimum 36% cocoa solids, minimum 26% milk solids. All right, there we go. Yep, there we are. Alcohol-free, no artificial flavours, still a cool dry place. Country of origin, made in the United Kingdom with cocoa from West Africa. So this has been a thing. West Africa seems to be the place to get a lot of cocoa. A lot of the cocoa plan things involve West African countries. I think Ghana's the one that tends to be mentioned in Cadbury cocoa plan and things. But yeah, it's got per 100 grams. 573 calories, so basically chocolate products tend to be between 500 and 550 typically, so this is definitely above the higher end of that. Fat 40.1 grams, of which saturate's 24. Okay, and there we go. There's some other stuff there, but I think yeah. All right, there we go. All this recyclable information. Planet Pledge, 100% ethically cacao. Now almost there with 100% recyclable packaging, recyclable packaging, and striving for net carbon zero by 2030. Check our progress at that address. Obviously, it's saying ethical cacao. What's 100% ethical? I mean, that's a bold claim. I would say what is ethical. I would definitely check that out if it's important to you, because chances are that what they deem 100% ethical isn't what other people would deem 100% ethical. So I would definitely check that out if it's something of importance to you, which probably is to most people. I think to an extent anyway, or to some extent at least, people assume that their goods are received or made or manufactured in ways that are ethical. I think that kind of. Well, this is exactly the point, isn't it? Really, I think you would assume that it's usually most things that it would be illegal to produce something unethically, but who knows? Who knows? By the way, bad news and good news. The post didn't reach you, but ended up back at your door. All right, I see. Especially Roberto will send it back. Have to verify the address again. All right, let me know, Rick. Did you get it wrong? I mean, well, basically, yeah. Let me know. Yeah, have a think. Maybe you sent it. Well, at least it came back to you, so that's good. At least it explained it. Yeah. So that's good. Yeah. Well, that's good news and bad news, as you say. But well, thanks for trying that, Rick. Anyway, sorry it didn't work out, but yeah, just check. Let me know whether it's the right address or not. Obviously, you don't have to worry about it now. But interesting one. Hello there, Jade. Great to see you. How are you doing, Jade? Yeah, how are you doing? Hope you're doing all right. Great to see you. We're just, as you've probably imagined, we are doing an Easter special. Yes, it's the You Crack Me Up Hotel Chocolat, ridiculously expensive, £30 duo egg, sort of like a blonde chocolate and milk chocolate, half and half, essentially, is the gist of it. Yes, hello there. Yes, and you're doing okay. Hope you're well as well. Yes, I'm not doing too bad, thank you, Jade. Not doing too bad. Glad I've basically mowed the lawn today, trying to sort of get back on top of the garden, which is almost not quite a jungle, but it was getting there. Looking forward to seeing this one, and if it's any good, yes. Well, fingers crossed. Yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, the gist of it is it's £30. I think you'd struggle to find any chocolate product that would be really worth £30. But again, these things are sort of treats, and the special things might be presents for someone, you know. So it's one of those, really, one of those. Will do. You send your pick on Discord. Yeah, thanks very much, Rick. Thank you. Yeah, we'll sort that out. And if there's a problem, yeah, I mean, it's a weird one. I think the address should still be valid, is the gist of it, because I don't think they changed the address. So hopefully, you know, it was a mistake, basically, because otherwise I've no idea why it got rejected. But we'll find. Well, fingers crossed. We'll have to find it out, I guess. Yeah. You know, a bit worrying if the address was right and it got rejected. I don't know what to make of that, really. Oh, nice. When are you opening? Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do it now, shall we, Jay? Let's do it now. Yes, okay. So I don't know, I won't move down a bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just open it on this one because it's too big, basically. Now, there's a sort of seal here. You can see there, that's seal. I think it's just a cocoa bean image there. I could cut it with a knife. I think I might just rip it off. You know, okay. Although I said that's quite tight. I mean, you know, always a bit, you know, try to sort of look after these products a bit, you know, when opening. But there we go. So you can see I'm peeling off the label now. It's not been opened before. All right. What happens then? Well, I think we can just slide it out, I assume. Can we slide it out? Okay, I think so. I think so. Don't want to drop the thing. That'll make a massive noise. Just hold it down here. Okay. All right. Half slid it off. I think there's a sticker on the bottom. Yeah. All right. I could have just ripped it off, of course. Most people would. Maybe I should have done. I didn't. All right, there we go. Got it off. There we are. All right, so we got the thing off. Might reference it later. You never know. And here we go. So it says got a little bit under there, just a nice little touch. Hotel Chocolat, British cocoa grower. Okay, or cacao. All right, nothing on the bottom. Nothing of interest. Okay. Got a nice protector at the top there. Not bad. We'll put that somewhere. Okay. So there you go. So you can see now, this is what I'm not sure what to make of this. What do you think? It's already in half, basically. They're always like this. The eggs come in two halves, essentially. And I'm not sure what to make of that. I understand why they do it, but I'm not sure what to make of it. I think I prefer it if it was one whole egg. But again, I can understand because it's basically two halves, you know. But there we go. Sounds good. And that's no fun. In half, exactly. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So it's just, basically, yeah, exactly. I'm not sure what to make of that, really. I understand why they do it, because it's two products in one. But yes, I think it does take away from it. I think it does detract from it. I feel like they could put them together. I feel like it is something that they could just do it. I mean, there's no reason why they couldn't do it, could they? So I think that is a bit disappointing. Yeah. Of course they could. Well, for £30, they definitely could. I mean, they could do all sorts for £30, that's for sure. You know, so it is, yeah. You know, I mean, if it was, well, I mean, even the cheapest eggs, I mean, okay, fair enough, most eggs aren't two different products stuck together. But even then, the two halves stuck together, aren't they? So, you know, it just happens that they're both the same. They could both be different and stuck together. So, it is a bit of a con, I think. You know, it is a bit of a con. Now, we do have this shenanigans here. I don't know, maybe I'll do a screenshot, but it's a bit wavy. It'll be difficult to screenshot this one. So maybe we'll just come back to it now and again. Because it's got the product shot as well. Yeah, so, you know, I think like Jay says, it's no fun. I mean, it's no fun. You know, that's I think that's the gist of it. It isn't fun for it to be like that. You know, are they separated in flavours? Well, this is it. Yes, they are, Rick. And that's the other potential. I want to say I'm not keen on using the word con, but when you look at this product, this is generally the shot you get. Now, you probably would assume that both halves would be the same. Now, they don't tend to be actually in this egg range that they do at Hotel Chocolat, or Chocolate, how you want to pronounce it. But basically, one of them's the sort of like the blonde egg, and one of them's an actual just a milk chocolate egg. So you might think both of them were the same, and they're not. But even if they're not the same, you still could put them together. There's still two halves of an egg that can be fused together. You know, so yeah. Oh well, but there we go. Yes, a bit disappointing, but there we are. That's, you know, as I say, I don't know. It's a thick egg as well, which is one thing to say. It is a thick egg, but it still could put it together, I think, and even if it make it quite weakly sealed or something like that. But anyway, let's take it out and get into it further. So, all right, let's see what's going on. So you got the security keep it in place thing at the bottom there. So maybe I'll put the one on so you can see what's going on. There, maybe, just so you can see. Okay, I've got another one for next year. So, all right. So you can see here. So they actually do come completely sealed in half, two halves. I don't know whether to keep the top one up or not really, but there we go. Yeah. So there's two halves here. You don't know which one's which either, which is something. But they are quite thick. I think you could definitely see. Yes. You can bring one half in your pocket on the way to church. Well, there is that. There is that. Yes. Honestly, but yeah, they are. I mean, you know, one of those. I mean, they're very well sealed. It must be said. You know, they are really very well sealed. You know, yeah, and you can see coming through. You can see that there. So the Hotel Chocolat logo there. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, what do you think? What do you reckon? Should it be sealed? And of course, yes, you've got the two halves here. So what I'll do is I'll perhaps put them there. So let's see what we've got here. So you can see there, actually it's a lot lighter. When I take the these bits out, this feels like it was quite heavy with the bits in the middle. But as soon as I take these out, it weighs, you know, it's very light actually. It feels a lot lighter. And this is a lip as well. We'll see it in a minute, but that's, you know, this bit around the edge makes it look very thick. But it isn't, you know. All right. So you can see here. I'll take them out in a minute and have a look at them, but there we go. Yeah. So you could also play, if you're a fan of Monty Python, obviously if you don't have any coconuts to hand, you could use these as well. There we go, yeah, there's a horse joke in there. Alright, so what we'll do is probably look at the egg last maybe. Let's have a look at these first, shall we? Let's see what we've got here, these little contraptions here. Yes, there we go. Are you a fan of Monty Python, Jade? Yeah, If anyone's not seen Monty Python Holy Grail, I do recommend seeing it. Maybe The Life of Brian, maybe it's quite appropriate, isn't it, for the time of year? Well, some may argue maybe not appropriate. Alright, so, alright, let's have a look. So what have we got here? Whoop. Got quite a few here. I think both of them seem to be the same. So let's have a look. We'll keep them separate, actually, just check we've got the same in each one, maybe. One of them, yeah, well, we basically got a reasonable, I don't know if you can quite see here, but we got basically one of them, yeah, we got two milk chocolate bow-tied rabbits in one, and two white ones in the other. I think we got pretty much the same, just one white chocolate shell and two milk. So we've only got one white chocolate one there, I don't know if it's random. Not watched it for years. Yeah, I saw it a long time ago as well. It's been a while since I've seen it. Yes, it has been a bit of a while. This is pricey. 12 pieces. Yeah, so yeah, 12 pieces. Yeah, you're right there, Rick. Yes, yeah, basically yes. But these ones, to buy these separately, I don't know. You'd probably a Hotel Chocolat. It's not a cheap place. You might be talking £10 just for this chocolate on its own. How much does half the egg weigh? Well, that was a good thing. I was thinking about that, Alan. I think I might weigh them, actually. I won't be a second. I'm going to get my my scales, so let's do that. I won't be a second then. Won't be 5 seconds. Right, I'm back. Yes, hello. Right, so I've got my scales here. Being scales have been in the kitchen, so I'm just going to give them a bit of a wipe. All right, so I've got some scales here. What I might do, what's the best way to weigh them? I might do actually. I might use the. Apologies, you can hear this strange scratching noise. Might use the top of the thing to weigh them. Why not? So good. Why not? We'll do that. That might be quite good. So I've got the scales here. You can see them here. So I'll incorporate those in a minute. Might weigh the chocolate actually and the thingy. We'll see. Yeah, not sure how best to go about it, but we'll do it in a second. Yes, we'll be listening in the background, but we'll be in the chat. Oh, no worries, Jade. No worries. Too busy munching your own eggs. Is that what it is? Or looking after Blue the parrot. Yeah. Well, either way, don't worry about it. I'm glad you're here. All right. So let's have a see. So, well, first of all, let's just finish evaluating these chocolates, shall we? Let's have a look. Look forward to watching. No, hope you're okay. Oh, thank you very much, dear. Yeah, not doing too bad at all. Not doing too bad at all. Yes. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're doing all right yourself. Now, Andrew, hello there. Hope you're doing okay. the gist of it is we're reviewing the You Crap Me Up Hotel Chocolat egg. Just yeah, just getting through the gist of it. Oh, no problem at all, Jay. No problem at all. Right, so where we're up to. So we're on this bit now. So just looking at these. So they've got 4 different types actually here. We'll see if we can. So we've got the orange and lemons City Bunny. Got the caramel City Bunny. We've got the winning smile. Got the happy egg. The poker face. And the all in a tizzy. All right. So well, I think we've got 2 happy. Well, what have we got here? We've got 1 of each of these 2 here basically, and 2 of those ones there. So we've only got 1 of the white chocolate ones. And only 1 of the all in the tizzies basically. So not sure what to make of that. Bit of a would have I don't know. Not sure. Would have been better to have a. I mean, how many is there? There's 4 different kinds, I guess. At least we've got all 4 different ones. But there we go. So something there. Yeah, we'll see about that really, won't we? All right, let's give them a bit of a weigh then, like Alan was saying. So we'll weigh. Let's just weigh all the chocolates themselves first, shall we? So let's have a look how best to do this without causing all sorts of mayhem. All right, let's just move these out of the way. The problem is, as well, with the eggs, they're in obviously in a wrapper as well, so we need to bear that in mind. So we might have to take them out of the wrapper and weigh them. All right. Okay, so we've got the this here. Hopefully you can see that as we move towards the camera. Hopefully you can see. Unstable, it's saying there. There you go, got 0 on it. So put that on. Now it turns itself off after a couple of seconds. So look, so 74 grams there. So if you just remember 74. Yep, there we go. Because in case it turns itself off, then we'll lose what it was. So I just keep it the same basically. 74. So all right. So these will all be minus 74. Basically. Definitely, I feel like most of the chocolate, or the weight, possibly comes from these. Alright, so what have we got now? 248. So can anyone do that? What's that? Is that 173? 174 rather. I think that is, isn't it? 248 minus 74. I think it is. Yeah, hopefully. Yes, so 248 minus 74. Let's get the old calculator just in case. Yeah, I'm quite sure that is right, but my maths has been known to be terrible these past few years. So 248? 248 minus 74. Yeah, 174. Yes, there we go. All right, brilliant stuff. Okay. So 174 grams worth of chocolate in the sweets themselves, in the chocolates, things like that. So we'll take these out to the wrapper as well and have a look at those. And yeah, so I'll just move these away. This is the only problem with all this. There's so much stuff everywhere now. Quite hard to keep on top of everything, but we'll do what we can. So I'll move these away. And we'll weigh the actual eggs themselves. So again, 74 grams on there, hopefully. Yes. All right. So okay. So we'll open this regular chocolate one. I'll come back to these in a bit. Here we go. So you can see quite a nice thick egg there, but quite plain this one. Quite plain. Quite plain. Let's give a bit of a weigh. So it's on 211. 211 minus 74. I won't try and work this one out. I'm sure I could do, but I'm not going to. 211 minus 74. 137 grams that weighs. So 137 grams. So presumably this one's going to be very similar. The next one. I'll have a look at this as well. Okay, this one does look very nice actually. Look at that. It does look pretty good. That does look a bit. I feel like it looks like it's been painted on, doesn't it? Almost this white bit here. To be honest with you, you can see. I don't know. It's not been painted on, I don't think, but it's because it's quite thick. But it definitely looks like it's a bit more. You know, it looks mainly like this is the proper colour of it, and that bit's just quite, you know, just on the surface almost to an extent. But it does look quite nice. Does it look like that though? I'm not sure really. I feel like, well, it does a bit, doesn't it? Maybe it does. It looks a bit more. Doesn't quite look as marbly though. I think it looks, as I say, All right, let's see how much it weighs. This one's 209. So what was the other one? Was 211. So roughly the same. 205 in fact. Actually, this one weighs a bit less. All right, so we had 137 was the other one, basically, and what's this one? 74. So 205 minus 74. Okay, so yeah, what's that? 131 probably. Yep, 205 minus, was it 74? Yeah, 131. So basically, yeah, 131, 137. So that's what's that? 268 grams for the chocolate itself. What was the weight? I mean, we've weighed it all, haven't we? So if you're watching this after the event, feel free. I didn't make a note of what it was, but yeah. So the egg itself, 260. Was it 268? There we go. So 268. Yeah, so 130, 127, I think, grams isn't, according to that, the egg itself. But yeah. Although we put down 174, I think it was. So you got 174 grams of chocolate is basically the non-egg side of it, and then one half is 137 and one half is 131. So according to my calculator, it's still on the screen there. So yeah. In fact, maybe I'll do a print screen of that just so people can see it. Here's the gist of it. Let's have a look. Save it as won't be a second. Let's have a look. Where should I save it? Where should I save it to? I've got some places to save things, but where is it now? There we go. Here, I think it is. Won't be a second. Alright, here we go. Hang on. Let's make this a bit bigger so you can see. There you go. Yeah. So basically, the chocolates were the 248 grams minus the 74, which was the weight of the lid. So 174 grams of chocolate isn't the egg. And then we had one half, which was the milk chocolate half, which was 211 minus 74. So 137 was the weight of the milk chocolate side. And then the weight of the blonde chocolatey side was 131 grams. So 205 minus 74. So there we go. So yeah, for reference, there you are. There we go. So interesting one. Interesting. All right. And for the egg put together, maybe we should take a photo of this. There we go. So again, they could have put this together. I think it does look a bit disappointing like that. I mean, well, the fact it's half an hour, but it's, maybe it's not a problem. I don't know. But I think it should be both. I think they both should be this side really. But maybe it's better that they're a bit more varied. I don't know. Again, difficult one to say really. All right. Well, there we go. We've done the weightage. You can see the thing's turned itself off now, so that's why I had to keep the top on, because it would just be hard to keep track of what's going on. Yeah. The new Terry's chocolate orange ice cream is outstanding. I prepared to be disappointed, but it's great. Really tastes of Terry's chocolate orange, not just generic chocolate orange. I'll have to get that one for the members reviewer thing, Andrew. Yes. Yeah, where did you get it from? Was it Iceland, was it? Also got swirls and layers of chocolate sauce and actual chocolates. It cracks when you put a spoon in. Very nice. Oh, is it like a tub? Is it? I was thinking it was like a stick for some reason. Interesting. I'll have to look out for that one. I will definitely have to look out for that. Yes. Yeah. Does sound an interesting one. Definitely one I would like to get my hands on, that's for sure. Always a bit, yeah, as you say, always a bit dubious about these, chocolate ice cream, ice cream versions of chocolate products and things, chocolate bars and things. Usually, expect the worst, but it's quite good in that case that you're very happy with that one. I know you're a big fan of Terry's chocolate orange, so that's good to see, good to hear as well. So fingers, I mean, obviously, I might have a different opinion on it. It's just the way it goes, isn't it? It is a bit of a subjective thing, but definitely more optimistic now you've said that. Food Warehouse also had the chocolate lollies too. Also, the Magnum Billionaires are lovely as well. Magnum Billionaires, goodness me, so many Magnums. I've just been doing the what was the Magnum ones I've just been doing? Goodness me, I can't remember what it were now. Those Star Chaser Sun Lover ones. Yeah, so many ice creams to get. I've still got like a freezer full of them. Yeah, all right. Well, good things. Food Warehouse. I don't know if I've seen Food Warehouse before. Is this another place I'm just not aware of? Yeah, you're dubious too, but the taste is spot on. Yes, not just generic chocolate orange. That's really good. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be off to Tesco midweek to see if they have any Easter reductions as well. Yeah, well, I remember a year back they didn't have much Easter reductions. Well, at least I missed, unless they did and I missed them all. Yeah. Oh, Iceland Food Warehouse. All right, I see. I'll just, yeah. Well, I've got an Iceland somewhere near me, I think. So I don't know if it's Iceland Food Warehouse, if there's any difference. But yeah, well, either way, I'll keep my eye out. All right, so let's have a look at these then, shall we? Let's have a see. So we've got the, give these a measure as well. Why not? Let's have a look. I don't think I'll weigh these individually. I mean, you know, it's just get into it, I think. So give the height there. It's about 4 point. This is between the ears, between the legs, for want of a better term. 4.17, or between the bow tie. And then the width roughly at the face, I think we'll do. Why not? At the bottom, roughly about 2 centimeters. And height to the face at 1.73. I don't think I'll measure them both because I think they're both exactly the same. You know, so I think look at that, quite nice to look like that as well. I was saying the egg before might be a bit disappointing, but I think these work a bit better when that put together like that. And you can see they have a nice look to them as well. Nice bow tie. That's pretty good. I think they look pretty nice. Nice detail on the faces actually. I think you'll definitely see a bit of a hole in the nose of one of them, in both of them maybe, but generally I'm quite happy with that. I think they look quite nice designs, those. That on the bottom. But pretty good designs. What's the actual what's the description of these? What does it say? Well, I got the let's do the white chocolate one first. Oranges and lemons, City Bunny. Which is weird. I don't know why it's not orange and lemons, but oranges and lemons. Soft-scented citrusy bunny. Smartly dressed in smooth white chocolate. It was a nice description. Smartly dressed. Definitely smartly dressed with that bow tie. I quite like that. I do like that bow tie. It looks good. Bunnies in bow ties. Cats in bow ties. They're the future. Yes, I think last year you tried a citrus white one and the little bunny one. You really liked it. Yeah, fingers crossed then. I must admit, a year's a long time in chocolate and I can't quite recall. But I do. But now you've mentioned that, it is slightly ringing some bells. Let's give it a bit of a go. Unfortunately, I have to chop the bunny. This one's got a bit of a colour leakage there on the ears, you can see. But still, I think the design's pretty good. I think the application of the orange colouring is pretty good there. Let's give it a bit of a chop. Not too much of a citrusy smell that I can detect, but yeah, definitely a lot of filling there. Quite thick white chocolate. Definitely, it's this. You know, if there's a smell, you'd say it was citrusy, but there's a bit of a white chocolatey smell as well. But let's give it a taste. Let's do it. Lovely. Wow. Lovely. Citrusy meal actually. I think Andrew might be right. So we reviewed this one before. I'm always worried about not being consistent with my ratings, but things change, taste change, so I'm not too worried. But I'm always slightly worried. Interesting. Nice white chocolate taste actually. It's not. I don't know. I mean, you might argue it's even though it's probably an upmarket white chocolate taste. But I feel like there's not as much character there, for want of a better term, than say something like Nestle Milky Bar. I'm not sure it's quite as good. It seems a bit less. I mean, it could be overpowered by the citrusy taste, of course. It's one of those. But I feel like there's not quite as much character there, I think, as a Nestle Milky Bar. But it's an inoffensive white chocolate. It's quite smooth and easy to eat, and the sense is definitely very citrusy and nice. I don't know if it's quite as citrusy as I might have liked it to be. Having said all this, I mean, maybe I'm going against what I said last year. I'm not sure. It was quite. It was quite tart, but I don't feel like I really tasted much in the way of orange or lemon. I just tasted citrus, if that makes sense. But nonetheless, very nice. Thick chocolate taste. Quite tasty, that one. I enjoyed it. I don't know if maybe last year I gave it a 5. I can't remember. But this year I think it's a 4 out of 5 for that one. Yeah. So yes. By the way, I did wear yellow last week, but this is a more mustard yellow, by the way. So it's not the same t-shirt. I tried to vary my t-shirts, and you can see I don't need the black background for this one. Sometimes I have to use a black background. I've still got it. Where is it? There it is. Yes. So I don't have a black background if I need to, but there we go. Get away with it this one, I think. But yeah, 4 out of 5. I enjoyed that. Nice, fresh. Just not quite. The citrus taste wasn't really one thing or another, but other than being citrusy, I guess maybe that's fine. All right, let's have a look at the this one then. So what's the difference with this bunny? What's this one? Has it got? I feel like it's got like a hazelnut filling by don't know why. But let's find out. Soft-scented caramel bunny. Okay, smartly dressed in mellow milk. So there's no hazelnut there, just caramel. Let's give this one a bit of a chop. Apologies to rabbit lovers out there. Oh wow, it's a very runny caramel, really runny actually. Yeah, look at that. Now I'm not optimistic about the caramel here because sometimes these artisanal or whatever caramel, you can see it's runny there. Look at that. Oof. You see it running out there. Look at this. Goodness me. Yeah. Becky. All right, so definitely a runny caramel. You can see. All right. Well, let's. I think before. Well, let's just give it a taste. Let's do it. Very runny. Goodness me. I have to move that way. It's caramel everywhere. Interesting. It's not quite as burnt a taste as I was expecting. A lot of these, for instance, lint caramels tend to be a bit more burnt, but it's on that verge. It's more of a, I don't know. I would say like a. I think tree come out with too strong a term, but it's definitely more that than I would say traditional. What I would be used to as a caramel, more buttery taste. Not quite as sweet. It's more, more bitter. It's okay. I feel like the other one was better, more fresh, but it's nice to have the difference. It's nice to have the, the two different kinds. Don't think that one's quite as good. It's interesting. It's just a bit more. Well, actually, I say it's interesting. It's not as interesting. The other one, I don't know. It's okay. I feel like it's all right. I feel like it's the chocolate's all right. It's a bit of a. It's just a generic. It's a bit more generic, really. The milk chocolate didn't taste one. It tasted quite milky, I guess, but nothing too dramatic. The caramel was quite a bit more of a burnt taste, but quite liquidy and runny, which was nice. But it was quite. It was a nothing. It wasn't exceptional, but it was still nice. It was better than above average, but not by much. So I think a 3.5 out of 5 for that. Not bad. Always remember, by the way, that a 3 out of 5. The average chocolate is nice. As you can see my cloth action here. I don't show you that, but you can see it this time. No, yeah, a 3 out of 5 is, all average chocolate is nice. So that's above average, but not enough to really make me go wow. Yeah. 36% cocoa in a white chocolate, which is the same as Bourneville. I know, it's a funny one, that, isn't it? It is a funny one, that one. Yeah. Not sure what to make of that. I haven't quite got a baseline for white chocolate about what I think I like, and I don't know whether I'll have to keep an eye out for that one. Maybe I can try and get like a get it narrowed down, but I don't know. Yeah, weird one. Have you got any ideas, Andrew? What's your ideal white chocolate percentage or whatever, or do you think it matters? Is it not quite as I mean, sometimes in dark chocolate, you can get 50% from some place and 50% from another, and one of them stronger than another one. But generally, you can think, well, I know what to expect. But I don't know if it's the case with white chocolate. Maybe it is. Milk chocolate as well. Difficult one. Interesting, though. Interesting. All right, so let's have a see. So what have we got with the others? We've got all these faces now. We've got plenty of faces. I think some of them we get 2 of each, and 2 of them we only get 1 of, which is a bit of a shame. Always find that a bit disappointing when they're not quite equal. I realise 6 is better than 4, but I would rather. I don't know. I feel like it's just a design problem. I feel like they should have the same amount. You shouldn't have just one of this white chocolate one, for instance. So what have we got? Well, let's have a see. Let's have a look. What do we think? Maybe I always feel like I should be taking some photos of these, by the way. Maybe I should, and then Instagram them later. What do you think? Should I just take a random photo? Let's have a see. Okay, let's do that. I do have an Instagram thing. I always, let's just neglect it sometimes. Let's just take a quick photo. Why not? Okay, there we go. One for Instagram for later. All right. Okay, so, all right. Yeah, in fact, I'll take a better one than that. Oh dear. Okay, things you do. Okay, there we go. All right. So I think, yeah, immediately it's disappointing that there's only 1 of each of these 2. But there we go. Way it goes. But I do feel like I feel, as I say, 6 is better than having 4. But I feel like I would prefer to have 2 of each, just because you might prefer white chocolate or whatever. There you go. Well, we've got the different faces. So we've got basically we've got this one here, which is I think this is the winning smile. So this is the no wonder it's smiling. It says. Well, in fact, let's put it here, shall we? All right. No wonder it's smiling. Our award-winning milk truffle, the perfect balance of cocoa and cream. Okay, so that's a truffle one. So You know, we've seen truffles many times. And this one, no wonder it's beaming. Award-winning caramel, brimming with roasted pecan praline, whipped cream caramel, and just a pinch of grande sea salt. All right, got the poker face, not really giving anything away. That's the white chocolate one. I think it's white chocolate anyway. It's what's it say? It's the face of our sublime, less sweet white. Okay, a classic whipped cream truffle with a hint of Madagascan vanilla. All right, so the flavour of the white chocolate vanilla basically, but it does have like the topper there. We've got this all in a tizzy, naturally lifted roasted hazelnut praline, 40% milk. So naturally lifted. All right. What I don't. Maybe I'm no chocolate expert, despite the fact I do this channel. I don't know what naturally lifted chocolate might mean. Does it mean? I've no. I can guess at what that means. Naturally lifted. No idea though. Really, what it really would mean. There's some kind of symbol there. I think that does it mean exclusive to the product. Not sure. I can't really even see that. I mean, it's quite difficult to see what that thing is there. But there is a symbol there. It does mean something or other. But it's not very obvious, is it? I do have a magnifying glass for situations like this. So let's give it a go. I've got the old... let's see. What does it say? Still quite difficult. It says something like chocolate silver something or other. Academy chocolate silver something. Even the rest of it's even smaller. Winner 2017, it says. We got a silver medal in 2017 for something. Chocolate Academy, I don't know. And the other one got the same thing as well in 2017. Right, so they both won the silver something or other in 2017. Alright, okay, well there you go. So, not won it since though. What do we make of that? Right. Alright, apparently anyway. Alright, well there we go. So they've done something in 2017 for a silver medal or something or other. Who knows? But I assume it's a good thing. All right, but maybe the other ones didn't win anything. So what do we make of that? Okay, so which is interesting because they're the two. Well, yeah, there they are two that appear more than once. So I guess that's something. The ones that won something, they have put two of each in. So maybe you could say that's a good thing. But maybe you could also say the others haven't won anything, so that's a bad thing. So who knows? But yeah, all right. Let's give these. I mean, they're all roughly the same size. I'm going to measure just one of them. I think. Let's just measure one of them. I usually measure all of them, don't I? But I feel like I might be being a bit silly if I do that this time. So about 2.8 centimeters in width, roughly. I'll say it's not the same. 2.8, 2.9 in height. Half an egg, these ones, about 1.5. And the length, or whatever dimension you'd want to say this is, from top to bottom, roughly, about 4.7. Alright, so not rounded, have a flat bottom as you might have seen. This says Hotel Chocolat on the other side. But you can sort of put them together, but because they're not flat because of the faces, they don't really fit together. They don't really make an egg even if they did. So I don't know what to make of that. It would be nice if they were half an egg each. I think that would be maybe a bit more interesting again. But they still look pretty good. So, alright, well let's chop them in half, give them a bit of a taste then, shall we? So, alright, so we've got the eyes of this one. Which one's this one? This one is the Happy Egg, I think it is. Yep, so this is the 2017 Silver Medal winner. Alright, so it's caramel brimming with roasted pecan praline, whipped cream caramel, and just a pinch of sea salt or salt of some kind. Alright, okay, let's give it a bit of a go. Bit of a crunch in there, it's like micro crunches. It's alright. It's alright. You can taste the praline. It's quite smooth. It's like a truffle centre, basically. It said it was caramel in this, I think. It didn't really seem to be, I didn't get much caramel from it. I mean, it's not runny. Well, I guess maybe there's a slight caramel at the top, maybe. Not sure. I can lift the... I thought maybe there's a caramel on the top, but I've lifted the top off. I don't think there is. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know where the caramel is on that one. Didn't really get much caramel from it. Didn't really get much salty taste from it. You know, it implies it's a salted caramel. I didn't get really any of that. I just got a sort of bit of a truffle, a generic truffle with a bit of praline in it. Milk chocolate was okay. It was quite... It's a bit like the other one, really, the other one. I mean, the other one was a bit more exciting because it had caramel, actual caramel, runny caramel. This one, I don't know, it was quite generic, really, to be honest with you. I don't know whether to say it's a 3 out of 5, really. I mean, it's very difficult to, you know, a 3 out of 5 for this and something else. I don't know. You know, if you have a Mars bar and you rate a Mars bar 3.5 out of 5, is a Mars bar better than this? I feel like a Mars bar is probably a 3.5 out of 5. I feel like, you know, even though, you know, Mars bar, you know, I don't know, maybe it's quite an average chocolate, but there's something a bit more about it. It's got a bit more interest in it. I think like this one might be a bit, it's just a bit, I don't know. It's okay. It's a nice, I mean, the average chocolate 3 out of 5 is nice. I feel like this one is between a 3.5 and a 3. I think I'm going to play it safe and say 3 out of 5. I feel like 3.5 is just a bit too much. I feel like it was just so generic. There was nothing really about that to really give it the extra half mark, you know. Yes, has there ever been an exciting praline? Well, this is it, exactly, Rick. I think this is it. It's very generic. It's very like, you know, let's just throw something that's relatively normal in it. You know what I mean? And that's basically what they've done there, yeah. The picture shows a lot more eggs bunnies than what's in the packet. I said, well, I wonder if it just, let's see. I don't know, I think yeah, I think it's about, I think it's about the same, you know, Jade. I think I got 3 bunnies. I had 6 bunnies and 6 of the other things. I think it's right. It just looks a lot more. But I think it's actually the same, to be honest with you. I think it's the same. There's 6 bunnies. To be honest with you, actually, I think, you know, to be fair on them, I think it is right, actually, that. There is 2 of the happy faces, the milk one we just reviewed, 2 of the other ones, and then 1 of the poker face and 1 of the inner tears or whatever it was. So I think it's actually right, actually. I think it is right. Yeah, but it looks a bit more. I know what you mean. Maybe I should have, you know, arranged them. Any plans for the long weekend later? Well, been seeing friends and things like that. Just having a nice, relaxing time. Tried to sort out the garden. Nothing too exciting, but, you know, relaxing. I needed a bit of a break, actually, so I'm quite happy, quite content. I've been doing a couple of reviews every day. So I did a couple of reviews yesterday. I'm going to do 2 tomorrow, 2 on Monday as well. So one of those, yeah. Oh, sorry, yes. You can't right. Oh, you're bad. No, don't worry, Jade. No, it's good, actually. It's good that you mentioned that because, to be honest with you, I completely forgot to check that. So thank you so much. So either way, no, it's perfectly fine. Don't worry. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, yeah. It was a good thing to check, to be honest with you. You know, so thank you for that. And there's certainly nothing wrong with, I mean, you know, to be honest with you, you know what I mean. There's nothing wrong with, yeah. As I say, there's nothing wrong with, I don't know. I don't want to say. I'm making it sound worse than it was there. I appreciate you actually making the effort to check that. I think that was really good, and I forgot to do it. So yeah, mistakes happen. There's nothing wrong with making a mistake. Yes. Oh, I don't really count it a mistake. It was an observation. It was right to check it actually. But it does look. I mean, you must. Yeah, you're right. The presentation was pretty spot on there. I think actually it was a good presentation. I think they've done a good job of making it look quite busy there. And hi there, Joe. Great to see you. Happy Ostara. Yes. Happy Easter. Yeah, I hope you're doing okay, Joe. How's things for you in Brazil? Yeah, it's very nice and lovely outside here, actually. I don't think it's not warm by your standards, but it's warm by the UK standards. It says 16 degrees, proper sun outside. You know, this is perfect weather for me, I think, actually, sun-wise. Perfect weather. Any hotter than this, you know, it's proper sun as well. You know, it might be this warm without sun sometimes, but there we go. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's see what it says. Let's see what it says. On the old Nightbot My Weather shenanigan. Will it crop up? Have I spelt it right? No, I've not spelt it right. Okay. I've not spelt it right. Help us to spell it right. But My NY Weather. Or MNY. There we go. Okay, so maybe not. But there we go. Yes. Weather for Roberto. 17 degrees says it. Says 16 on my computer. Winds blowing from south-southeast at 6 miles an hour. Humidity is 36%. So 17 degrees, perfect, lovely weather. I'm sure this is probably winter weather for you, Joe. But but for me, perfect. And it's really sunny as well. The sun's out. It's clear blue sky. It's lovely. Yes. Yes, doing very well. How about yourself? Not bad at all, Joe. Yeah, just saying it's a nice long weekend this weekend. Get to Friday and Monday off. Lovely long weekend. Very nice and relaxing. Catching up on doing bits and pieces. It's very nice. Yeah. How are you doing, Joe? Everything going okay for you? Yes, let's try the other one then. This shenanigan. What's this one then? The other happy one. This is actually the happy face. Winning smile. No wonder it's smiling. Award-winning milk truffles. This is a truffle one. Perfect balance of cocoa and cream. So we'll see what this one's about. Give it another chop. All right. Ooh, dropped it. Dropped it there. So got half of it here. I don't want to eat the whole thing. A bit too much if I eat the whole thing. So, bit more of a rich taste, this one, for sure. I don't think it was dark chocolate, but it tastes a bit more on the way towards dark chocolate, but it has a creamy taste to it. A bit more interesting, this one. Got like a sort of bit of a truffle filling, melts in the mouth, bit less bit more interesting than the other one, I think you'd say, but not by much. It's quite nice. It's just basically got a bit more of a richer taste, is the gist of it. A bit more of a richer taste. It's okay. I think it's just got it's a bit creamy. It's like a milky cream taste. It's all right. I think it's probably about the same as your one, a 3 out of 5. The chocolate's okay, a bit more richer. It tastes a bit richer, but it's got like a sort of, I don't know, I guess the truffle on the inside. I don't know. I'm not sure. Something about it brought it back a bit with the creamy centre. It's basically just another truffle, but a bit creamier rather than the other one had a bit of a praline taste. This one's got a bit more of a creamy taste. It was all right. Pretty average, I think, is the gist of it. Not bad though, but nothing special. Nothing to write home about with that one. So yeah, just the typical affair. Yes, just relaxing, thinking on how the heck an edible egg can come out of an animal. But some things are best left not really considered too much, I think, isn't it? You know what I mean? I think it's, but nonetheless, they are pretty tasty and they do help a lot with cooking and baking. Yes, what's the weather like for Jow? Look at this. I think isn't it sort of autumn where you are, Jow? But 22 degrees, so even hotter than where we are. Southeast at 6 miles an hour, humidity 84%. So even though it's well, I guess we're in spring, primavera. I'm not sure if that's the same in Portuguese. In Spanish, it's primavera, isn't it? Don't know what autumn is in Spanish, to be honest with you. Never really hear about it. But yeah, so interesting. But yes, obviously, yeah, you just have a better weather where you are, I think, as far as. But for me, I'm not a massive hot weather person, really. What it is today is perfect for me, I think. Oh, it's getting very pleasant here. We'll be reaching 17 degrees very soon for sure. It says it's 22 where you are, Joe. Presumably that's wrong then, is it? But yeah. Heard a lot of bits go down to Spain. Like, yes. It's definitely a resort, and Portugal as well. Definitely 2 resorts for people from the UK. I mean, to be honest with you, there's quite yeah. But I think Spain's definitely a place that people from the UK go quite a lot. Yeah. But Portugal as well. All right, so let's do the inner tiz one. It looks quite. In fact, yeah, let's do the inner tizzy one. Obviously, don't know what's going on. This one's not won any awards. That's a bit. Don't have much description on it either, to be honest with you. Naturally lifted, roasted hazelnut praline. So this is a hazelnut praline, 40% milk, so quite a strong milk. This one should be quite rich tasting, I think. Nice look to it. Bit crazy looking one, but all right. But yeah, hazelnut praline. It's the most generic of generic pralines. But I will say that if you look at the eye there, it's not just skin deep, that eye. It has does go down quite a bit, so that's quite interesting. Alright, let's give it a bit of a go. Quite an intense hazelnut praline taste, actually. I mean, it is what you'd expect it to be. It tastes just like hazelnut praline. It says 40% milk. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't taste creamy, I guess, the milk chocolate. So there is that. But basically the prevailing taste or prevalent taste or however you want to say it is definitely the praline. So it's one of those whether you like praline or not. You know what? This one's got a bit more about it than the other ones, to be honest with you. The other one's tasted quite generic. I mean, this one is generic as well, really. But to be honest with you, it's probably as good as a hazelnut praline can be. I quite enjoyed that one. I feel like I prefer if it got a bit more substance. I think some of the Cadbury's Jingly Bells ones, they do 2 of them. Or they do at least a couple of years back. And one of them had a bit of a, I wouldn't say it was chewy, but it had a bit more substance to it. And that was actually a really nice hazelnut sort of praline-y taste. I definitely would prefer it if they had a bit like that. But this one, it wasn't bad. Hazelnut pralines go, very run-of-the-mill. but it was actually pretty good. I feel like it delivered pretty well on what it was meant to be, and so it's slightly above average. I think this one's a 3.5 out of 5. Pretty good, but again, at the end of the day, it's not really anything more than any other hazelnut praline you've really tasted, as I say, to be honest with you. It might be better quality ingredients, things like that. Hard to comment on those, but the taste itself, 3.5 out of 5. As it's more from the company, I won't be trying. I mean, the thing is, it's a very strange one, Jay, to be honest with you. The quality is, is probably more than other companies, so there is that. But yeah, you're paying a lot of money for what I don't think for anything too dramatic. But they do a lot of other chocolates that do have a bit more of a taste. But yeah, I would wish there was more variety in here, something a bit more interesting, like even if something like their take on the Cadbury cream egg, or something like it, you know what I mean? But it's very generic stuff. There's nothing here that you've not seen elsewhere. Nothing, you can't say, oh, this one's related to Easter other than the shape of it looks roughly like an egg, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's a bit, there could definitely be a lot more effort here, couldn't there? I mean, I'm not, I don't know. All that comes to mind off the top of my head is cream eggs and mini eggs and things like that sort of thing. But so while those are not really very new or novel, it's definitely a bit more interesting than what they have put in here so far, at least. Well, I'll say so far. We've got one left, haven't we? So yeah. So yeah, you think the same as well. It's funny, isn't it? I think sometimes I don't know. Like for me, for instance, when you don't sort of, I mean, not to say. Basically, I might not have considered it quite as in-depth as I would have otherwise done if I wasn't reviewing them. But when you look at them, take the time to really think about what's actually going on here, you really sort of think, well, why is it not so much more special? Why is there not all this effort gone in? Why is there not sort of egg yolky type creams going on? Why is there not, like a shell that's looks like an actual egg or whatever? Why is there not all this going on? Why is it just very generic stuff? Yeah, so they're not bad or anything. I'll say the average chocolate, 3 out of 5 is good. All chocolates taste nice. So these are sort of average and above, but for £30, I'd be four stars at least, I would have said, yeah. Is there a considerable difference between the spring of the south of Europe and the UK? I would say so, Joe, yes. Yeah, the UK is the climate's a lot more cooler generally, basically, yeah. I think Spain, Portugal, I don't know if it's probably more similar to where you are, I think, generally. I mean, we're not exactly the same, but definitely warmer. I mean, don't want to sort of. I'm not sure if I wouldn't say that they're the same, and they might not be the same, but they're definitely more similar, I would have said. I think I associate Brazil with definitely being a warmer place than the UK, and I associate Portugal and Spain, and even France, really, with being warmer than the UK, but especially Spain and Portugal. Yeah, so I would say so, yeah. Even some places like Germany and Holland are a lot warmer than the UK generally. Just sometimes anyway, but they can be quite cold as well in the winter, so swings and roundabouts there. It's because we have tried so much good chocolate before. Well, this is it. I mean, the thing is as well, it's just sometimes things can be quite pretentious, can't they? And I do think definitely Hotel Chocolat can fall on that side of things. But at the end of the day as well, also, they have all this thing where it's, the thing with these things, though it's ethically sourced and there's all sorts of stuff going on there, which is hard one to weigh up, isn't it? But and of course, you could also argue that Cadbury and Nestle have all that going on as well. So is it that much different? But with these things as well, they're meant to be like it's like you pay a lot of money for something as a treat for someone, like a present for someone else that they probably wouldn't buy themselves. So, it's one of those weird extravagances, isn't it, that you probably would buy as a special present for either someone else or maybe for yourself and justify it that way. And that's kind of where this company, it's got like a sort of an indulgent factor, a prestige about it that other companies don't have. So if you bought like a very cheap set of chocolates for someone, it might not really go down as well as if you bought this for someone, even though the cheap one might be just as good, if not better. So yeah, it's a very strange one, isn't it, how things work, All right, well, let's try the last one then. Which one's this one? I think it's the poker face, so not quite one thing or another. So the face of our sublime, less sweet white. A classic whipped cream truffle with a hint of Madagascar vanilla. So basically, I don't know, white chocolate truffle with a bit of vanilla taste as well. So white chocolate often is flavoured with vanilla, which I think is a bit of a shame sometimes. Just kind of detract from the actual white chocolate itself. We can see it does have a sort of bit of a topper here, a bit more noticeable of some other kind. But there's a gap there. It looks like it's cream, but it's a gap, like a it's just a gap at the top. All right, let's give it a go. Wow, yeah. I say that vanilla is actually pretty good. It's a very strong vanilla taste, actually, that. And, the rest of it's quite normal. The white chocolate, like I was saying before, it's quite inoffensive. It's not really, it's not horrible white chocolate, but there's not a massive strong taste to it. It's quite a nice white chocolate. It's the kind of white chocolate that really needs to have something with it to bring it out a bit more, to make it a bit more special. But that's a difficult one to say. It depends how much you love white chocolate, I guess. But for me, I don't know. It's a nice white chocolate. It's the kind of white chocolate normally you'd get maybe with Ben and Jerry's, things like in Baked Alaska. We have those white chocolate chunks. You can taste the white chocolate. It's quite nice, but then it's also good that you've got everything else with it as well. It's like that, really. So on its own, I don't know. It swings around about, so I'm not quite sure what to think of that. I do rate Nestle Milky Bars a very nice white chocolate. This one's not bad, but it's quite flat. I like it's a flat tasting white chocolate, and I quite like those generally, but they don't blow your socks off. And I feel like the vanilla was very nice. I thought the vanilla was very strong, but unfortunately it was in kind of like a traditional truffle, which was a bit okay, but just a truffle at the end of the day, like all the others. So this one's not bad. I think, like white chocolate lovers, I think we'll probably give this a 4, but I'm just going to not quite go that high and say 3.5 out of 5. I think it's nice, but again, it's still a truffle and it's still nothing too dramatic. It's not bad, but it's not, it's just by definition it can never be anything too ridiculous, because it's just at the end of the day a vanilla truffle, with white chocolate around the edge. But the vanilla is quite nice, actually, I must say. Oh yes. Oh well said. Oh, thank you very much, Jade. Yes, thank you. Yes. Yes. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's yeah, I know it's from the previous thing we were talking about, by the way. I realise that. I know you said it before, but thank you very much. Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? But yeah, I don't know, one of them. But I feel like sometimes that's the thing with stuff, isn't it? They're expensive. You get them for other people as a gift, and that's kind of what it's about sometimes. Yes, what percentual of Easter egg costs £30? Percentual of Easter egg. Percentual. That's I'm not sure I've heard that word before, Joey. I think I know what you mean. That's the percentual. So what do you mean? Like, what's usually what type? How many Easter eggs do we normally have that cost around this much? Basically, well, not many really. So it's not normal, to be honest with you. It's not normal. It's normally one you'd get from these sort of expensive websites and things like that. Yeah, or expensive shops. I've seen some other ones, but generally the ones you get in the shops tend to be between 10 and 20, about £10 really, but the more expensive ones in regular shops are about 15. Yeah, but don't worry, I knew what you meant, Joe. I knew what you meant, yeah. I'm not saying it's not a right word either, but it's just, yes, percentage, yeah, okay, yes. I thought you did, yeah. Yeah, not many really. It's more, as I say, more the upper end that you would get, and it's not, you don't often see them in regular shops. It's more the sort of the high-end shops, I think you would say, for sure. So yeah, but these Hotel Chocolat do one that's £80. It's like an ostrich egg, even though this one's probably the size of an ostrich egg. They do even more expensive ones. I have seen some others that were like £30 in another shop, but they look to be quite generic as well. They look to be basically like this, but on the inside they had like stuck like some sweets of some kind, like let's just say like some brownies or something stuck on the inside. Nothing too yeah, they weren't anything that interesting really. Right, so let's get on to the actual. I'm going to just take some photos again for Instagram. Why not? You know what I mean. It's going to break it in a minute, aren't I? So I can't. Right, so got some record of it. But let's say you can just see me doing it there. I got to do got to do the old Instagram, haven't I? What can I say? But a bit disappointed in this egg, as you can see it down here. It's not quite. Let's say good for the old some castanets. Or the old, as I say, the old cloppity clop from Monty Python, and Holy Grail, stuff like that. But yeah, but other than that, there's another photo just for the Instagram. Here we are. Yeah, okay. But yeah, other than that, Yeah, bit of a strange one that it's not still together. I feel like it should be, and like Jade said before, but not very fun that you don't break it. I mean, you know, I realise as well that it would look a bit, you know, but they could merge it together some way to make it a bit more interesting. But yeah. All right, well, let's see, how do we do this then? You can see here it is definitely a lip. It's quite thick though, all the same, but still definitely a lip. Percentual. Is it a word, percentual, out, Jar? It might be an actual word, I don't know really, to be honest. It's not one that I've heard before, but that's not to say it's not an actual word, you know, but there we go. All right, let's give this a bit of a measure. Now, we've got to break these at some point, haven't we? I'm throwing stuff all over the place. So let's have a look. So we'll give it a bit of a, how do we measure this? Going to measure with the measuring stick, I think, might be a bit more accurate. About 9.7 centimetres in diameter, roughly. Yeah, that's, I don't know if you can quite see. Maybe you can't see, but you might have to take my word for it. But yeah, that's what you do. About 9.7. About 9.7. Yeah. Yes. Just googled it. Percentual, not comparable, of pertaining to or expressed as a percentage. Now, there we go. So it is a real word. Yeah, it sounded like one. It did sound a good word, it has to be said. All right, so it does exist in English as well, though, Jarrett, sounds like. It's Portuguese for percentage. Well, it sounds like, yeah, as Jade says, it's a real word as well. Not comparable, pertaining to or expressed as a percentage. Sounds like it's the same word, basically, just a different... So it must have the same word as well in English, I guess. But it's not one you would generally hear. But, you know, because it sounds so similar, I think you get away with it, basically. Is there a word in English too? Yeah, it looks that way. I mean, we do have a bit of that. We have, you know, in English. That's the thing with English. We do get a bit of the Latin-based languages and the sort of Germanic ones as well. So, you know, I don't really know perfect examples, but one off the top of my head that might be right is like big and large, grand, huge, I don't know, enormous. You know, so we have these words that exist in both Latin languages and in like the Germanic ones, I guess. So we do get a bit of both. So presumably, well, percentage, I guess, is probably the Greek, isn't it? I assume so. It probably exists in both languages by default. Yeah, so it's not quite the same thing. So perhaps talking rubbish there, but yeah. I assume it's Greek, or maybe it's Latin. I don't know. But anyway, either way, yes, we have the same word. But we don't normally say percentual. I don't believe. Maybe we do. Maybe percentual. It sounds good. Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah. So, all right. Let's give it a bit of a measure on the other side. Then let's see. 14.6 centimeters there, and then the other one about the same. So they're both about the same, as you'd imagine. One of them does weigh slightly more than the other one, though. Maybe about 14.6. Okay, yeah. All right, there we go. So let's try and see what we can do about the thickness, shall we? I think, where's my calipers gone? Did have some calipers in there. Caliperoonies here. All right, so, well, don't know if we can really do it without breaking it. I think we've got to break these, haven't we? How best to break them? They're going to be quite hard to break these. I think first of all, I just would like to comment on the thickness here. You can see some lovely thick, chunky bits there. This one looks very nice on the inside, actually. Not great on the outside, I must say. You can see it kind of looks a bit thin there. Doesn't look like it's marbled. It looks like it's thin. That coating there. This one's obviously quite straightforward. A real thickness there. Beautiful product. Well, this is it. It looks lovely. It does look the part. It looks very beautiful. I don't feel like it's going to taste extravagantly amazing for £30, but like you've said, I think this is it. It looks great. It has a real nice extravagance about it. Even if it doesn't taste amazing, clearly as a present, you'd be quite happy to receive this, and you'd think, well, I don't think it's the best thing in the world, but I'd like to have experienced it, but I wouldn't have paid £30 for it. So the fact that someone else has given it me for £30, their expense as a present, is probably what it's about with this one, really, I think, is the gist of it. Maybe, yeah. But it would have been nice, I was saying before, if it had more in it. But we'll go into that a bit, more interesting things in it. But all right, let's give it a bit of a break. We've got to do it. I don't want to do it, really, but... All right, well, there we go. Look at that. Okay, we broke it now. We can see the rough thickness there. So even though it looks quite thick on this bit here, it's a lip, you know. So we'll break the rest of it. So you can see here, you know, it's a bit of a lip basically. So it's a bit of a design trick. So the thickness there is about 1.1 centimeters. But the genuine, I'm doing it now. I'm sure is genuine. I don't think genuine is a real word. Is about 4.3 millimeters. So you can see it's definitely generally a bit thicker. But look at that. The main thing to take away here, though, is look, that bit is literally just painted on. You know, that is not, you know, that outside bit there is pretty much painted on. And you can see it through the rest of it as well. So even when it's a bit thicker, it is technically thicker. Yeah, and even the egg's a bit thin down here as well, isn't it? So, you can see that it's actually quite thin. Not thin, but it's thin there. Let's have a look. It was about 4 something, wasn't it, before? About 3.3 millimeters there. Whereas before, was it 4.4 or something? Can depend where you go, of course. It's not perfect all the way around, but it was about 4 before. So, yeah, 300 gram egg. Well, let's have a look. We did do the thing before, Jiao. Let's have a look. Not there. Where have I put it? Forgot where it was now. Hang on. Where has it gone? Back here it is. Yes. There we go. So basically, we weighed it before. We weighed it in a 74 gram container. So we took away the 74. So both half of the eggs were 205. We're 131 and 137 grams. So it's a 268 gram egg. That's the egg. The rest of it was 174 grams was the chocolates. I don't know what it said on the box, but when we weighed it, that's what we got. The box says 395 grams. So what have we got there? So we've got more than that, I think, actually, one reason or another. I don't know why that is, but yeah, we've got. But I got 300, 435. I think that works out as. I think. So we've got more than that. I don't know why that is. It says 395. I've no idea. I don't think we made a mistake. We saw me do it live, so so we've got more than it says on the thing for whatever reason. But there we go. All right. Well, this one, let's say the outside is it's a bit of a con, to be honest with you. It's really just the inside of that colour, but it doesn't look like a sort of. It definitely looks like a blonde chocolate. And what does it say? It says high cocoa white, exquisitely spun with caramel milk chocolate. So it's basically a blonde chocolate. Yeah, so let's give it a taste then. Let's see. It's a very it's it's not bad. It's not bad. It's quite a weak blonde chocolate. Quite a weak blonde chocolate, basically. It's not bad. It's quite creamy. It's basically very much like it is a blonde chocolate. It's white chocolate, but has a caramel sort of flavour to it. I don't think it's caramel flavoured. It's caramelised. It is actually blonde, isn't it? I think. Let's just see what it says on the back. Yeah, let's see. Does it actually say white chocolate? I don't know if it really says, does it? I mean, it just says white chocolate spun with caramel milk chocolate. So, So I feel like it's not really blonde. It looks like it's white chocolate, but just mixed with milk chocolate. So a strange one. So it's not really blonde, but it's a strange combination. And I think it sort of shows in a way. It's kind of like it's a very strange. It's like a very sort of safe blonde chocolate. Really, it doesn't really taste too caramelly. It doesn't taste too white chocolatey. It kind of tastes not really much of anything almost, if that makes sense. It's not horrible, by which I mean I don't mean it's. I don't know. I'm not getting any massively sort of strong. I don't know. It's not really one thing or another. It tastes like a sort of a white chocolate, but it's got a bit of flavour to it. Maybe that's the fact that it is kind of mixed with milk chocolate. You know, there's a bit of a caramel flavour to it. It tastes a bit more like blonde chocolate than, you know, it's not, doesn't taste like white chocolate just mixed with milk chocolate. It does taste like blonde chocolate, but I feel like it's not quite as good as other blonde chocolates I've had. And reading the description, because it's saying it's mixed with white chocolate or whatever, mixed with milk chocolate, maybe that's why. Maybe it isn't really the same as a blonde chocolate would be, where it tastes a bit more interesting. I'm not sure. I feel like I've tasted better blonde chocolates than this one, and it might be because it's not really one. It's okay. It's just all right, really. It's all right, you know. I don't think there's not much going. Again, you know, if it had a brittle in there, I mean, basically, long story short is I reviewed another Easter egg just yesterday. I'm going to publish that tomorrow, and it had a lot going on in it. It was from Marks and Spencer. You know, it was an Easter egg, had lots of like a sort of biscuit brittle in there with salty taste as well. And other things going on, and I won't ruin the review too much, but it was a very interesting egg. And compared to this one's quite bland, to be honest with you. It's just quite bland. It's quite bland, really. Yeah, it's quite bland. It looks great, though. It does look very nice. But I don't think I can really... 3.5. I'm going to give it a 3.5 just because it's between a 3 and a 3.5. I'm going to be nice and give it a 3.5 out of 5. But it's certainly closer to a 3 than the 3.5. It's just quite bland. It's just I don't know. It tastes like a blonde chocolate, but there's nothing really there to wow you at all. It just tastes quite nice. As I say, a 3 out of 5 is an average chocolate taste, which is quite nice. To be honest with you, I feel like this is probably really a 3 out of 5. But I'm giving it a bit of the benefit. I don't know. I'm being a bit kind there because it looks, I don't know. I'm just being a bit kind, but I think really it probably is a 3 out of 5. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of thinking maybe I should just give it a 3. But it's not unpleasant. It's just quite interesting. 3 out of 5 just because it's Easter. Well, there you go, Joe. There you are. Why not? Why not? Yes. It's okay. I mean, well, this is the problem with it is, as I keep always trying to emphasise, a 3 out of 5 is a nice product, because the average chocolate taste is nice. So even if it was a 3 out of 5, and to be honest with you, even 2 out of 5s are quite nice. They're just not just below average, they're just below average. So not horrible or anything. But yeah, so, 3.5 out of 5, we'll stick with that. But it's certainly, let's just say, if you wanted to go one way or another, I would go towards the 3 out of 5. But it's still nice. It's nice. All right, so we've got the other one now. This one's the more generic of the two because it's basically just milk chocolate. So... literally, even the description there is quite bland compared to 40% milk. So it's quite a rich milk chocolate, but that's literally all it is. So we'll do the same again. We'll give it a bit of a snap. Okay, there we go. So it's cracked a bit better. So again, we've got the thickness. You've got the lip again. It's a bit of a con. I'll take away the the rating there just because I don't want to cause any confusion. So you can see the lip there again. This was like with the other one where you can see it raises up at the side where the lip is. It's not that thick generally. We'll give it a measure on the lip. The lip of it is 1.1 centimeters. Another place is about 6.7 millimeters. 7 millimeters in places. You can see again, it's kind of been, I think, to keep it the same width as the one, it might have been coated in a layer of something else. Like you can see here where I've snapped it, there's like this overhang, and I think that's kind of where it's been painted in the colour, and that's kind of what happened with the other half as well. So I guess to keep it the same size, they've used the same mould and painted on something, and to make sure it, as I say, is consistent. They've kept it the same size. This one definitely seems to be thicker generally than the other one. That's probably why it's harder to break. You saw me, I'm always trying to be a bit careful. I don't want to just smash everything up and cause havoc with the camera equipment and shaking everything. But this one generally is a lot generally thicker than the other one. That's probably why when we weighed them before, you remember that the weightage was slightly different. If I show that image again that I showed Joe a second ago, and you can see there the blonde half was 131 grams and the milk half was 137, so 6 grams difference, and that is backed up by the fact that you can see the blonde one, it's definitely thinner there. You can see it's quite thin, whereas this one's a lot thicker. So it does have lots of ripply bits on the inside of the blonde one, but even so, yeah. So it's definitely generally a bit thicker, the milk one, as you can see there. All right. Okay. All right. Well, there we go. So there's not much more to say about it. To be honest with you. It's just milk chocolate, 40% milk chocolate, so quite rich relatively. So let's give it a taste. It's still milk chocolate. I think Andrew was saying before the cocoa solids in can be born for like 35% or something. So this one's actually more, got showing cocoa percentage than the Cadbury Bonville dark chocolate. But this doesn't taste rich like that dark chocolate, Like Bonville, you might not describe Bonville as particularly rich, but it definitely doesn't taste like that. This is very creamy. It's not bad. It's like still a creamy milk chocolate. I still feel like it's quite Belgian-y in its taste. It is that sort of creamy milk chocolate. It's not bad. If you like, it's a funny one. It's a mix of sort of like a creamy milk chocolate, but with a richness as well. It's quite nice actually. But again, it is just milk chocolate. I don't think it particularly tastes as good as dairy milk, sort of your more generic chocolates, but obviously this one, probably better quality ingredients. You can argue all this, that and the other, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's quite as nice as a dairy milk chocolate. It tastes quite generically Belgian. I'm not saying it is a Belgian milk chocolate, but it tastes a bit like that really, but not quite as creamy, but it still gives me that Belgian milk chocolate experience. And I'm not a big fan of Belgian milk chocolates generally. I feel like they're a bit too creamy for me. This one's not quite as creamy as those, but I feel like it's, as I say, it kind of feels like it's a bit like that. For me, I feel like it just needs to have something in it to make it more interesting on its own. But that's my particular taste. I think, again, this one, it's got that richness to it, which is quite interesting. It's not just a sort of creamy milk chocolate. I feel like that is something about it. But I don't know if I can give it more than a 3 out of 5, basically. I feel like this one I can't really. It is very much a down the middle, straight milk chocolate with no bells and whistles. Nothing particularly interesting about it. But it's nice. It's not below average, but it's certainly not above average. I feel like there isn't really anything to give this one over, a 3 out of 5. So, what do we think for the whole product then? Well, it's certainly very generic. There's nothing very interesting about it other than the fact that it's quite thick, other than it's got, nice smiley faces with it and it looks very presentable, it looks very indulgent. But there's not much variety here at all. There really isn't. I would have liked the egg to have some bits in it, at least one half of it. If you look at the Chocolate Lovers egg from Aldi, which is £7, it was £4.99 last year. That has so much more going for it. There's no chocolates inside. It doesn't come with little bits of chocolate, but there's 3 different kinds of those. There's a blonde one with raspberry bits. One half's blonde, one half's white with raspberry bits in, I think. And there's a few others. There's different ones. Well, dark chocolate one. That one blows this away, and you could get 4 of them, whatever it is, for the same price. You could get 6 of them last year. Just a lot better, This one, it's just, it's got the wow factor, I guess. But yeah, I'd eat it, but it's nothing special, says Jade. Yes, I know what you mean, Jade. Yeah, it's exactly. You'd accept it as a present. You'd be very happy with it. You'd be very thankful for it. It'd be a lovely thing to experience. You'd be happy to share it with someone because it's quite indulgent and big, lots to it. But it's a thick book with a beautiful cover. It's a great analogy, that, Joe. I like it. Yes. That's a really good analogy. I like that, Joe, a lot. Yes, it's a thick book with a beautiful cover. That's a perfect description. Exactly. No, I really like that a lot. I'll have to try and remember that one. That hits the nail on the head perfectly. So I think with that in mind, what can we say? I mean, it's a great gift. So if you're looking for a gift, this one is a very difficult. It's a difficult one to say. You could argue it's a 5 out of 5 because it's the perfect gift, like Jow says. But I think at the end of the day, we've got to at least have some input into the fact that it's quite generic. There's nothing too special about it when it comes to the actual taste of it. I think for the appearance and the looks and the prestige and this, that and the other, I feel like it's probably, I think you could say a 4 out of 5. But I think with the fact that there's nothing too special about it, one of the eggs was quite thin in places, relatively thin anyway. The chocolates it comes with are very generic. There's nothing very interesting about them. There's no, like we were saying before, like a Cadbury cream egg centre with like a caramel centre, all this, that and the other. You know, there's nothing, well, sorry, kind of like a creamy egg looking centre. There's no effort to make them look very special or Eastery or anything like that. The eggs don't have any bits in them like a lot cheaper ones do. You know, there's just nothing really that interesting about it. So I think, you know, you could say it's a 3 out of 5. So I think I'll go somewhere in the middle. And I think overall, and I think it kind of correlates with what we said before, you know, with most of the things, a 3.5 out of 5. Yeah. And yes. And well said, Joe. And I think, yes, I think perfect. I think we'll, yes, we'll put it down as well. Where is it there? Let's have a look. Yes. We were quite fit. I think that's the wrong one. There we go. It's a thick book with a beautiful cover. That's a perfect summary there, Joe. So we'll put that there. So that's the summary. It's a thick book with a beautiful cover. 3.5 out of 5. There we go. Perfect summary there. Yeah. And as Jade says, well said. Well, there we go, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Happy Easter, everyone. Hope you have a great one. And if you do get this egg, I don't think you'll be disappointed. I really don't. But for £30, you know, what you're getting, there's nothing really there to wow you or blow your socks off. But it's certainly, like Joe says, it's a thick book with a beautiful cover. It basically gives you the impression of being very substantial, and it looks great. And I think for a gift, that's what matters, really. But at the end of the day, when you get into it and you strip back all the, you know, the cover and you give it a read, you know, the substance perhaps doesn't quite match. So there we go. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you for the review. Happy Easter. Relax and enjoy yourselves and be kind. Oh, thanks so much, Jay. You have a great one yourself. Hope everything's well with you. And yes, and Blue the parrot. Oh, have a lovely one. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to feed Blue Easter eggs, but mind you, well, being a bird as well, maybe it's, yes, I don't know, maybe there's problems there. But either way, I hope you have a lovely time. And you have a great one and get lovely eggs or lovely chocolates or just lovely food or whatever that you enjoy. And hope you have a great one too. And you too, Joe, as well. Oh, enjoy the sunny Easter. Yeah, thanks so much, Joe. You do too as well. Hope you have a good one. Oh, yes. Oh, no problem at all, Jade. No problem at all. Oh, thank you. Have a blessed time. Yeah, have a great one yourself, Jazz. I say, and everyone else is watching as well. Oh, Andrew, Scotty was about. He might be about. Who knows? And Alan from earlier before as well. And Rick as well might be in bed now. Oh, and anyone else who's watching. Apologies if I missed anyone. I hope I haven't. It's can be a bit of a... Ewan from earlier on as well. Ewan, of course. Yes. Oh. You too, Joe. That's very nice. Oh, thank you, Alan. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, take care. I'll have a great one yourself, Alan. Let me know what you get up to as well and your lovely Easter antics. Oh, and see you in the next one. Yeah, I'll see you hopefully for Stash Watch next Wednesday at 7 o'clock UK time. BST. Oh, take care, everyone. Apologies if I missed anything, by the way. There's a 6-second delay, roughly. So if I've disappeared before your messages come through, I do apologise. It's not, I'm not ignoring you. I just didn't get it in time. Oh, take care, everyone. Bye for now. Have a great Easter. Bye.